I don't know if you guys have had a worse day of fishing than me, but I would say this is pretty high on my list. So let's just cut to the chase and tell you guys about the worst parts. If I can remember, I wasn't doing a specific video, which is something I really didn't do back then, but I did want to catch my first bass on a legit swim bait. But at the time, I didn't have more expensive ones, so I just had a few of the ones I owned tied on, which one of them was a live target bluegill swim bait. This is where things started going wrong. I ended up hooking into a fish that felt huge, and considering I've never hooked a big bass from this pond before, it might have been the biggest bass in the pond, but it didn't take long before all of that came crashing down. That wasn't the only thing I lost that day. I also lost the same exact swim bait I was using just a couple of casts later because I forgot to check my line before casting.
Just snapped 20 pounds.
I guess on the bright side, I did end up catching one fish that day, so it wasn't a complete waste, but it also took me 6 hours to finally catch a fish. Now, you might be thinking all my bad luck would have ended there after catching that fish. Well, it didn't. I actually was stung by a wasp or hornet, and to this day, I'm still not convinced to which one it is, but it must have stung me while I was walking through the shrubbery on the side of the bank. And for some odd reason, I thought it was a great idea to walk back through the shrubbery.
I just got stung again, and I found out what it was. Freaking hornet. Didn't realize what they felt like. They hurt so much worse than a bee sting.
I guess when you make stupid decisions like that, you also get stupid rewards. Speaking of an award I received from being stung twice, a couple of days later, the portion of my leg where I got stung started swelling up, and it was surrounded by a huge bruise the size of a softball, so I might have had some kind of allergic reaction to the sting. Oh, and I did have to go to the doctors for this. So now that you guys know the story of my worst day of fishing, can you relate? I want to hear your story.
God. It's like they paralyze your leg. You can't even walk. I mean, you can, but it hurts walking.